Happy you could be here. We are joined, as always, by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a Food and Wine Sommelier of the Year. The group includes Where We Are, Blue Jacket, also, of course, Church Key and Birch and Barley. Greg, it is always good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
What do we have on tap this week?
This week we have a beautiful beer from Lagunitas Brewing Company. It's called Undercover Investigation Shutdown Ale, and the story's fantastic. The brewery's incredible, but the liquid is what's important, and this is damn good. This is Lagunitas hop forward, big, bold beer, basically what you'd expect from these guys. And let's taste it, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. 9.6% alcohol.
Gorgeous.
Dankly hopped. Good, cool kind of rustic, earthy, grassy hop character in the nose. It does have a pinch of dark malt, so it's got some color to it, a little bit of body.
Very nice. Brown sugar in there?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Not this one. But this is like...
I'm usually right. I mean...
And they do have a beer called Brown Sugar, of course, which is delicious. But cool, I mean, IPA-esque style, I guess. It's got more of a malt bill of like, kind of like a British bitter or something like that. It's got richness up front, but man, is it, it's hoppy. Nice and bitter on the palate.
I was out near their brewery in California a couple months ago, and they were, I don't know if they bottle it and ship it, they had a double imperial IPA that, everyone out there, craft beer lovers,
was it the
were
Waldo's?
talking about. I'm not sure because we never made it there. We just try it
because we just they just shipped this beer called the Waldo's, which is like an 11.1% imperial IPA monster that we featured at Church Key.
That must be it.
Yeah, it's tasty.
Well, we'll have to do that one sometime.
Yeah, seriously, it's fresh. If you see it out there, buy it now. So, Undercover Shutdown's really cool beer. I think it's pretty indicative of who Lagunitas is. And Lagunitas was actually begun in 1993, so way back when at this point, by Tony McGee, who's the president, founder, in Lagunitas, California. They outgrew that space so quickly that they moved to Petaluma, which is where their original brewery is now. That's where the name comes from. They have been, creating hop-forward beers as you'd expect from Northern California brewers for a long time, and they've become a massive craft brewer. They are currently the 6th largest brewery craft brewery in the United States. They brewed over 600,000 barrels last year. I think this is up from maybe 25,000 or so in 2004, maybe less. And they opened a second brewery in Chicago.
Okay. Yeah.
Of last year as well. So they are pumping out some liquid. Now, the story on this beer itself is that it's called Undercover Investigation Shutdown. St. Patrick's Day 2005 at the brewery. This is a famous story, but worth repeating. In Petaluma, they have a pretty devil-may-care attitude there today. They always have. And very popular place for people to come and drink, and the party would spill outside as well. And some people were known to spark up some joints from time to time at these parties that they would have, and I think they thought it was especially notable to smoke weed on St. Patrick's Day, greenery and all that.
When in California.
Yeah, exactly. So they did that, and unbeknownst to them, they were undercover ABC, alcohol beverage control agents, in the facility that immediately busted them and arrested some of the people at Lagunitas, including my friend Ron Lindenbush, and they took their license to serve there for a good amount of time. So once they got it back, they decided to brew this beer, to honor the shutdown itself.
There have been obviously a bunch of craft breweries, great craft breweries I haven't tried, but boy, Lagunitas is up there with that handful of automatic go-to beers when you see it in the cooler. Now,
totally.
Before we started, you were telling me about something special with the bottle.
Yeah, and so I think that's to your point about you can go to and you feel confident getting Lagunitas stuff for a number of reasons. The liquid's fantastic. The pricing is great. I mean, they've always kept the prices really, really approachable across the board, and they've paid close attention to freshness for a long time. With all these hop forward beers, it needs to be fresh. We've talked about that ad nauseum. And we've also talked about how brewers are making it easier and easier to make sure the beers are fresh. Lagunitas does and doesn't here. This is a code that we'll probably bring up so you can see it. But the way that you're going to find out about these dates here and kind of crack the code that's on here. There's 3 numbers. There's 2 levels of number here. And the 3 on the left side is what's called Julian coding, and we've talked about this with Ballast Point before. It's 3 numbers. That tells you the day of the year it was bottled. So this is 6065, which means I'm not that smart. It's March 6th. I didn't just do that in my head. So this was bottled on March 6th. Then the next number over is the last number of the year, so 5, so 2015. So this is hyper fresh, obviously. Right, yeah. It's only like a month old. A little over a month. But then even cooler, I think, is that the last number on the top here is a 1 or a 2. The 1 indicates it was brewed and packaged in Petaluma, California. The 2 indicates Chicago. So this is actually brewed in Chicago, packaged on March 6th of this year, and hyper fresh.
Would you buy a carton of milk if it didn't have the date on
exactly.
it? I don't think so. Come on,
I'm
everybody,
use that
for
line.
me,
yeah.
pal. What would you pair this with?
Big, huge hop character is awesome for fatty foods, but also the malt richness and sweetness on the palate up front is hearty. So kind of think of anything that comes in like a casserole dish is going to be awesome with this. So you could have, it could be gumbo, it could be cassoulet, it could be beef stew, chili. Richness, fatty, meaty dishes are going to be outstanding.
All right, well, I'll make my turkey chili and see what the wife thinks.
That's right.
Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.